playing my favorite song over here. You feel the goombas coming out of the woodwork, Kevin? Over here.
I'm feeling good.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to East of Normal. My name is John Mulrooney. Say hello to Kevin Downey Jr.
Kevin Downey Jr., thank you for having us.
For those of you who are unfamiliar or just stupid and ignorant, I am a comedian working out here on the eastern part of Long Island. I will be at Governor's on January 5th and 6th. Come on out to see me. Kevin Downey Jr., you may recognize, not just from his many appearances in the area, but Kevin is also now a talented journalist.
Thank you.
Published journalist, JP Media. We're going to get to that in just a second.
PJ Media.
Don't correct me on the air, Kevin. I really don't like it. Kevin used to be on this show, ladies and gentlemen. He was until he started to contradict the host. So we're going to get to that in just a second. But first of all, Dino Luzzi. I love Luzzi, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we are here in the first place. He's going to be one of the guests on this show, which is being brought to you by him because he's got some money, huh? That's what we say over here. He's got the money. He's going to pay, and so we got to say his name is 3 million times, and we're going to have a counter up here to say how many times are we going to say it. Dino Luzzi Energy Drink. It's taken off like a bottle rocket. What's a good acronym? Luzzi. Don't correct me, Alan. Luzzi. I love Luzzi.
Luzzi.
Dino, did I pronounce Luzzi incorrectly? Perfect. The Jew is telling me how to speak Italian. Alan from off to the side, we'll get to Alan in just a minute. I will eviscerate him in just a second. Alan from the sidelines is telling me how to speak in a proper Italian accent. We want to thank Dino for giving us the opportunity to come down here to these lovely studios and check out the energy drinks. They're actually taking off all over Long Island. If you love Luzzi, you're going to love Luzzi. They are... They're low in calories. They taste great. And
that's the coffee, too.
That's the coffee one.
The cold brew.
The cold brew. They give you a nice kick in the pants. So,
you know what I've got, John?
What do you... Kevin, I know what you always have. Go ahead. What is that?
I have a refreshing Dino Luzzi energy drink with vodka.
Oh!
Because I'm a jabroni.
Hey, me! Forgot about it, Albert.
Delicious.
Because he's a friggin' moron. So these are cocktails. It actually, listen, you can go pick up a coffee. You can get yourself an energy drink. But, as Kevin likes to mix it up with some adult alcoholic beverages.
Crutches, if you will.
Is that what you call them? Crutches?
Crutches.
You know, it's funny. The other night we had this discussion about, I was doing a show, forget where the hell, the Kiwanis Club. I think I told you this.
Yeah.
And apparently now it's incorrect to say you can't to sit Indian style. Did you know that's gone? You can't sit Indian style anymore. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah. So the replacement is, and I get it if you can't say, all right, kids, sit Indian style on the floor.
Right.
But this is the replacement: crisscross applesauce. I'm not kidding you. Where the kids they go, okay, kids, crisscross applesauce. They sit down, and as they sit down, they cross their legs and they say applesauce. Now, let's put the Indian thing aside for a second. That's the gayest.
I was just going to say, can I say gay?
Yeah. Can you say, you can absolutely
Can I say I just
gay.
got AIDS from the way this... Crisscross, I got AIDS.
But do you remember Voss's line about...
Yeah.
All right? So, yeah, Rich Voss, a comedian, Rich Voss, used to do this bit where he said, they said go sit Indian style, so I grabbed a bottle of whiskey and sat on the curb.
That's a great joke.
Great joke. That's why I reused it. And... it's funny, that night, too, I said, I know somebody in here is Indian, and they're going to come up to me after the show, and they go, you should not make fun of that. And I'm going, hey, listen, I was talking about feathers, not dots. So relax, we're good. So we're also, did I mention Jen? We have Jen coming up. Jen, what's your last name?
Prapata.
Jen Prapata. This is like, Rapata. Krapata? Is somebody looking for you? Why did you change your name so much?
KRP?
In Cincinnati.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, we're old school.
Yeah.
Jen
Is it Polish?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Polish. We'll speak slower. It's an old joke. I'm sorry.
Ja mówię po polsku.
Yeah.
Okay. That means I speak Polish only a little.
I'm impressed.
Merci. That was French.
Dude, did I tell you about the Polish guy that challenged me about my English on the ship?
No.
I was working a ship one time, and this guy comes up to me and he says, and how many times have you been, forget just on a ship, anywhere where people want to come up and they say, hey, man, you're a comedian, I got a joke for you. Please don't stop and tell us jokes. They're the most vile, correct, racist.
Two figs.
Yeah. 2 figs sitting in a hot tub, man.
Here comes a
Here comes an M word. Yeah. Please, it's some vile, disgusting, racist thing that's probably already in my act. So don't approach me with it. But I was. Remind me where I was with that one.
The Polish guy.
Right, Polish guy comes up to me and he says, "You're a comedian from the other night, yes?" And I said, "Yeah. What are you, Dracula?" He says, "I have joke for you." I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." He goes, "What do you call in English language a person that can speak 3 languages?" And I'm thinking about it, and I went, "Okay, I guess that would be trilingual." He goes, yeah. What do you call in the English language a person what can speak 2 languages? I said, okay, that would be bilingual. Yeah. You know what you call a person what can speak 1 language? An American. So you heard this, right?
No, I got the same thing.
Did you? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And he goes, what? And I saw it coming. He goes, you know what we speak 1 language, what they call them? And I went, leaders of the world?
Well, I had to hit him with the 2 Polacks are out hunting. And they come across a set of tracks. You know this one?
No.
They start arguing. One says they're bear tracks and one says they're deer tracks. And while they're arguing, they get hit by a train. So he didn't like that very much. Anyway, my name is John Mulrooney. This is East of Normal. In a little bit, we're going to have Dino Luzzi. Did I pronounce it correctly? Perfecto. And
Jen WKRP in Cincinnati.
Jen WKRP in Cincinnati. She's a little young for the reference, but she's asking Alan what does that mean? We'll explain it to you on camera. Everything's on camera here, by the way, on the air. But I have to say, congratulations, and I'm intrigued because our very own Kevin Downey Jr., ladies and gentlemen, from
PJmedia.com.
PJmedia.com. Kevin, and this is like a sweetest gig in the world for a comedian. He got the opportunity, he had an opportunity and has turned it into your livelihood, I would say.
Yeah.
Right. It's your main form of income at this point.
Absolutely.
He writes regularly for an online media source called PJ Media. And just today, and it's been building, this is not, you've been getting hits like this recently, but just today, Mark Levin from Fox News referenced one of your articles, correct?
On his radio show, about 15 minutes before we started, I just got a message. Mark Levin just said your name in the article. You did it.
All right, stand by just a second. Abe, we're going to add a little applause right here. That was for Kevin Downey Jr. You're welcome very much.
Thank you.
There you go. What was the? Because Kevin writes how many are? Because every time I call you now, you're writing. What was this one about?
So this one's called "How White Liberals and Black Leaders Sacrifice Black Lives for Self-Esteem and Profit." It's all about how liberal white people will say, "Don't send anyone to jail. Restorative justice. We have to keep these black criminals out of jail so that they can feel good when they go to bed at night." Despite the fact that they're going to get mugged the next day by the people that they're trying to keep out of jail. But that's how New York City is.
That's how New York City is. That's how many big cities are right now.
Yes. And the other side, how people like BLM and Al Sharpton literally throw black people into the meat grinder, knowing they're going to die, just so they can make money on it.
How black people have not figured out Al Sharpton is beyond me. The guy
I don't get it.
He is such a con artist.
And BLM, they're just a real estate company now. They're just buying mansion after mansion, and they're BLM, right? So they defund the cops in all the big cities, and they get rid of bail laws.
Oh, the bail reform is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bail reform.
Now,
that's before you go on. That you know that if you're getting a leftist perspective on something, it's 180 degrees in the opposite direction. This is not bail reform.
Right.
This is bail.
Right.
Elimination.
It's keeping a lot of bad guys out of jail, and those bad guys are raping and murdering other black people.
Yeah.
But BLM is buying mansion after mansion, and Al Sharpton's getting his little, gravy. No justice, no peace.
No piece of pie, no piece of pizza, no piece of chicken. Although now the guy looks like he looks like he created AIDS.
I was gonna say, it looks like he's been sitting crisscross applesauce.
Well, I like the applesauce part.
All right, we got to go to a break. We'll be right back. East of normal.
Michael, I never wanted this for you. Congressman Corleone, Senator Corleone, but not Black Lives Matter.
Corleone. Welcome back to East of Normal. My name is John Mulrooney. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Downey Jr. coming to you from the eastern portion of Long Island in the fabulous hamlet of, is it a hamlet? What do you call it? Ronkonkoma?
Could be.
Ronkonkoma, which means
I live in a hamlet.
You live in a hamlet?
Yeah.
Now that's gay. You were talking about crisscross applesauce earlier, but I live in a hamlet.
I got a double load of AIDS.
Listen, the thing with COVID and AIDS and all that stuff, people are making too much of a big deal of it. I had AIDS twice. I beat it both times.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry about it. Are you in a hamlet? Do you live next to the cheeselet? Ladies and gentlemen, folks,
These are the jokes, everybody.
I'll be here until the next break. Welcome back to East of Normal, sponsored by Dino Luzzi Energy Drink. This thing will bring you energy, like I'm telling you, like used to cost 100 grams back in the 70s. I don't know why I broke into a Mexican voice for that one, but it was
I know
close.
why.
Yeah.
I know why. Ask me.
Yeah, no, don't ask Kevin. You'll get yourself into trouble. But speaking of which, by the way, check out Kevin's articles on PJ Media, Kevin Downey Jr. How would they search that, Kevin?
Go to pjmedia.com. You're going to see a little tab that says columnist. You click on that tab, you're going to see another tab that says Kevin Downey Jr. That's me.
And one more over, it says faboosh. It says fabulous.
The more you read, the more money I'll make.
That is correct, right? The more views, is that how they figure it out?
Yeah, it's all about clicks, baby.
It's all about clicks. But tonight, it's all about the energy drinks. Because if it were not for Dino Luzzi, ladies and gentlemen, none of this would be happening right here and now. And right here and now, out here on Eastern Long Island, these drinks are taking off. Go check one out. They are available in your local grocers. They're your local spas, salons.
You get it at a bar. Bars carry them.
Speaking of bars, yeah, the bars carry them. Yeah, they make great.
Jellies.
They make great drinks. Alan mixed up. What was it? Alan, a Jaeger and what?
Jaeger and Dino.
Jaeger and Dino. What did you call that one?
Kick in the arse.
A kick in the arse, because we can't say ass. We can't put that up on a banner somewhere. So go out. They mix really well with alcohol, and they're great. Just even the coffee ones are awesome too. That's my favorite. So if you're feeling a little down, go out. What? Question?
I got a name.
Go ahead.
Italian Buzz Bomb.
The Italian Buzz Bomb. It should be a shot in the head.
Because it's Italian,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm getting a buzz,
Yeah. Okay.
and I can shoot it
All right.
like a Jaeger bomb. Don't
right.
they call them Jaeger bombs?
Yeah.
Jaeger bomb, yeah.
Yeah. We need to get. All right. We'll work on it. But I see where you're going with
See,
that.
3 of these are. I got an idea, John.
Hold on a
I
second.
call it applesauce. I'm drunk.
Crisscross apple energy drink. I just made it up. I'm telling you, man, this is the winner. You have to have this one.
What do you mean walk home?
Yeah. And later on in the big program, look, I'm going to get my old man glasses on. We're going to have on Jen Krapata. Jen is a GT2 racing aficionado. We won't say you're working your way up to professional. I would imagine, right? Are you getting paid yet? No, not yet. But she's working on it, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why we're here right now.
Is she the Danica Patrick of Long Island? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to think so.
She'd like to think so. And most people are going, "Who the hell is Danica Patrick?"
Really?
Yeah.
I searched her nude the other day. Danica Patrick nude.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not. I wish I were lying.
And nothing.
Bikini shots,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's those of me, so you can get those.
Yes, I think I've seen those.
Like you haven't been hungry before.
God. Ladies and gentlemen, Dino Luzzi Energy Drinks. Get a blast. And what was the other field?
Find your power.
Find your power with Dino Luzzi Energy Drinks. Right now we are here with Dino Luzzi, the man who was responsible for bringing us all together. The man, the myth, the legend. More applause.
Thank you.
Dino, thank you. Welcome to the big show. It's your show. You paid for it. You better know.
It's been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to be with you. I know we met through a mutual friend. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And I know you guys are racing enthusiasts. And when you drink this stuff, I don't know how you can't be because it does amp you up. Obviously, with the accent, which I love, not from America. So from
Italy.
From where in Italy?
From Anzio, Italy.
Anzio. Okay, like I know where that is. I have no.
That's
there was
that's actually where
Big
the
battle.
American landed in World War II.
Yes,
Right, yeah,
American
It's a
Forces
famous
land.
battle in the famous movie Robert Mitchum. The
Yes.
Battle of Anzio.
The Battle of Anzio. Okay.
You know who else landed there from television?
Audie Murphy.
Audie Murphy?
Oh,
landed?
in real life, yes.
Yes.
Audie Murphy. You know who he went up to? He was like the.
The most decorated
Yes.
soldier of World War II,
Absolutely.
Audie Murphy. Look
You know-
up your American history.
You know which TV character landed at Anzio?
The guy from Green Acres, Eddie Albert.
No, I mean on the show.
What do you mean on the show?
Archie Bunker. Archie Bunker's
Carol?
character.
Oh, his character. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who? Well, is Anzio that's in the south of Italy?
No, it's right next to Rome. It's about 20 minutes south from Rome,
Okay.
right on the beach.
Because I know that Tony Bennett was also involved in the invasion of Sicily, which they called the Champagne Campaign because it didn't get the publicity that the Normandy landings got. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was the lesser known one, like it was easier.
He's still alive, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're going to play this in a couple of days, so who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, comics are dropping dead left
Oh.
and right. But anyway, so from Anzio, how long here in the States?
It's been very few years, close to 40.
Somebody's looking for you over
I
there?
came in 1980, just for a month.
Just for a month or two?
half, and guess what happened?
I'll tell you what, those
Copacabana.
continental layovers are a hell of a thing, aren't they? American Airlines, when they put you on a layover, forget about it.
TWA. Back
TWA.
then,
Oh, no way.
Oh my God, remember TWA?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was Howard Hughes' airline. So explain us how you got here. How did this all come to be?
I came to TWA. I just came in vacation. By the way, I owned the stock on TWA. I lost a lot of money back then. But I got very enthusiastic when I saw the big skyscrapers. And I started to go in around. I was going to the Copacabana every night. And there was a restaurant next to it, to Pronto. And before you know it, I don't know how it happened, within a week I was broke. Copacabana was very expensive.
I
And
remember
then I
that.
went to Carnegie Hall a few times. And I decided, this country is not that bad after all.
So what? Fast forward to 42 years later. How did you? What brought you? How did you come up with the idea of I want to create an energy drink and compete with the big boys?
Well, what caught my attention is that there is a very nice market for the energy drink, and I'm the chairman of a public company, so we trade on the OTC market. So I was actually looking for a product that I could launch into the market that was made in Italy. It was totally different from the other products already in the market, and I started looking around. And all of a sudden, I said to myself, why people are complaining about the energy drinks? A lot of people were telling me that they have a heavy metallic taste.
Yes, they do. That's true.
So I started looking into it. I found out that truck drivers were the #1 consumer of the energy drinks. And I called a few people that I know in Italy, and I said, how can we come up with an energy drink that doesn't have the metallic taste? And it does not give you the actual palpitation, and it doesn't get you tired after the 3-4 hours that you're going crazy. And that's how this whole thing started.
So if you're going to taste engineer something, you got to go back to Italy to make this. That's why all the drinks taste like marinara. A little meatball swirl in the middle bit.
Wait, I want to jump in because, Dino, so I used to drink Red Bull. Comedians are up late at night, you know the drill. Or maybe we go to Vegas and we're 3 hours behind. But I got the heart palpitations really badly.
Yes.
And so when Alan first told me about it, I said, yeah, I can't drink that. I get the. And he goes, nope, trust me. So I found some because I live here on Long Island. Never had a heart palp from it.
That's interesting because I did, until you just mentioned that, I agree. I didn't notice it when I drank one, because obviously if I'm going to talk about it, I need to know what I'm talking about. I drank it on the way here, and I didn't get that hyper, buzzy, edgy feeling from other energy drinks. I really don't dig that feeling.
It's energy, but not.
It's not artificial energy.
Yes.
It just feels like you've had a good night's sleep.
True.
Yeah.
There's a truth to that. It's not everything that is made in Italy. I truly believe that Italians take a big pride in that, and they believe in quality.
It's interesting that you said that. I had a meal recently in a restaurant that's family owned and operated, Italian, and I was complimenting
Domino's Pizza?
I was complimenting the person who brought over my food. I said, it was a pretty common fare, whatever it was, but it was so delicious.
Yeah.
And she picked it up and it made me laugh out loud, but she said it legitimately. She went, that's because it's made with love. And I laughed like, ha ha ha, and she looked at me like, got a problem with that?
Yeah.
She meant it. It was made with love, and there's a certain,
Absolutely.
pardon the pun, there's a certain energy about things that people take care and pride and put themselves into. I believe in the whole Nikola Tesla thing, energy, resonance, vibration.
Yeah.
That you put your good energy into something, again, pardon the pun, people are going to feel it. And that might be why this thing is taken off out on Long Island, because when Alan first told me about it, we'll get to Alan in a minute, when Alan first started telling me about it, he was always excited, always enthusiastic, and the more I got around, I was like, okay, Alan, another energy drink, another energy drink. And then I started looking, I was like, no, this thing actually's got legs. It's actually, it's good. And then he came up with the cocktails, and I said, shit, I quit drinking 12 years ago. Now he's making cocktails. But that's the key right there. When he just said it, I realized, it doesn't, it's not artificial.
The Sophia Loren legs.
The Sophia, look at
nice.
that's a nice. Now, I know the Gen Xers are going, Sophia Loren, they're going to look it up. I know I mentioned Betty Davis the other day, and somebody asked me who that was. I want to slap him. Go ahead.
Are you kidding me?
No, I swear to God.
Oof. I got a question, Dino. So your accent, does that, do American women go,
Absolutely.
yeah, I thought so. I'm going to rip your accent
That's
off.
why I got broke with a Copacabana.
Yeah.
I thought it was me, but it was really the accent.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the best Dino Luzzi impersonation when I leave here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go to the diner and say, yeah,
Let me give you the line. You walk up to women, you go, does this smell like a chloroform? Works every single time. Or if you're out here on Eastern Long Island, get in the truck, you won't get hurt.
Yeah, that's an act. So you're from Anzio? That's an Anzio accent?
You don't have to yell at him.
Oh, sorry. That's an
Dino, can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
So that's an Anzio accent?
That's an Anzio accent. Yeah.
Okay.
In Italy, you have 18 different regions, and everybody has a different accent.
Can you understand all of them?
I speak 8 different dialects.
Oh,
Because I
wow.
was in the service. That's how you pick it up. You gotta understand each other.
Gotcha.
You were in the Italian service, or do you
I was in the Italian police force. I was with the K9. 3 years.
No kidding.
What kind of gun did you carry?
I was a Smith Wesson, and I had also a Beretta.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a World War II Beretta.
Smith & Wesson semi-auto? Or
It was a 9 caliber.
Nice.
I got that after 2 years.
Nice.
Before you get the small bullets.
Yeah.
They let you start with the small ones, then you get to play with the
Yeah.
big ones?
The Beretta was probably a smaller
It was
7.65.
it was a 7 something.
7.62 or 5? What is it?
7.62. Yeah.
7.65.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Alcohol and guns, baby. We're on track.
Now we're talking my language.
Here's from lady. Why'd you leave the PD, may I ask?
Because I was
That's a
in the-
Carabinieri, right? Is that who they call it?
No, it was the police force.
We're a police department. What's the Carabinieri?
The Carabinieri is the military
Okay.
police.
Oh, but they're military police.
Right.
Okay. So my brother-in-law's Italian. He's from Marina di Gioiosa. He's Calabrese. He said the Carabinieri is good.
they're very strict.
Okay, yeah.
So it depends. If you go into, like at the time I was in the police force, we had the raid brigades. We were fighting the raid brigades.
What's that? What's the Red Brigade?
They were terrorists.
Communists?
They used to put bombs under the cars, under the police cars.
Oh, that.
Whoa.
Oh, come on.
Are they commies? Is that why they're red?
1978,
Microphone.
where they bombed the train station in Bologna.
I remember
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I was there with the actual dogs.
No
Whoa.
And the worst part is to picking up the bodies. You don't realize what kind of job that is.
This is a comedy show, you know. You get out there, there's a finger over here, there's a little body, there's a tooth.
Whose legs did it belong to?
Dino, why do they call Red Brigade? Are they communists?
They were, at the time, they're called terrorists.
Okay.
See, Italians, they really don't know what communism is.
Okay.
They're learning it now.
They're learning now?
Americans are figuring it out now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Buy ammo.
Buy ammo. You see they're trying to tax ammo?
Oh,
Yeah,
of course
2
they
cents,
are.
2 cents a round. I'll start giving them their receipt real soon.
Yeah.
By the way, everything is going up in price.
Yes,
I've not raised my price. I'm totally against that. The
I love
price
that.
of eggs went from $1.69 to $3.69. Makes no sense to me. And I tell my distributor, I will keep the same price because I didn't get a raise in the price. Bringing it in by boat, it went up about 25%.
That there is just about the most American thing I ever heard, ladies and gentlemen, from a man who was not born here but raised himself and brought a great idea. He didn't raise the price because them commie pinkos did. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Dino Luzzi, a real American. And when we come back, we're going to have some more with him because you know what? You need to go out and get yourself a kick in the ass and make yourself a nice cocktail with the Dino Luzzi Energy Drink and some adult beverages to go along with it. It's East of Normal. I'm John Mulrooney. Kevin Downey Jr. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. My name is John Mulrooney, Kevin Downey Jr. This is East of Normal. Once again, I want to thank Dino Luzzi Energy Drinks. They're taking off here on Long Island. Find your power. So go out and find yourself a nice Dino Luzzi Energy Drink and give it a shot. Kevin made a great point before we went to the last break. They don't amp you up. It feels like natural energy, which was a great point. You don't get that heart palpitations that you do with some other energy drinks. And I see people pounding these down left and right. You know who's hooked on them? My chief, and we'll get to that in just a second. He keeps cases of this stuff outside of his office, and he
This
lives on
stuff?
it. Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and he lives on it. And I used
Yeah.
to say to him when all day long, I would say, Chief, isn't that a bit much for you to be drinking all of that? And he goes, read what's in the can.
Yeah.
And then he goes, go read what's in like Mountain Dew or something
Yep.
else. And you read the ingredients on the back, and it looks like the ingredients to gasoline. Tetrahydrogenol, carbonol,
Yeah.
carbonanol. I mean, it sounds like names you find in the ghetto.
Yeah. I used to be like a coffee junkie,
Yeah.
but I like this better because I don't have cat poop breath
Cat poop breath?
or diarrhea that you get with coffee.
Yeah. Well,
The runs.
What where you been going to get your coffee? You get cat breath and diarrhea. Let's go back to
He
that.
said it
place.
was coffee.
You definitely need the energy drink.
And that was Dino. We'll get to Dino in just a second. And Jen Krapata is going to be joining us in just a little bit. She is a GT2 racing enthusiast / aficionado on her way to, hopefully, who knows, one day, maybe making it to the big time. I'm not a huge fan of racing, but she's going to explain all of that to me. I do like to go fast, but I like to go fast naturally. That's because I found my power, and I drink only Dino Luzzi energy drinks. Find your power. So,
And
also
cold brew. Don't
And what?
Don't forget the cold brew.
And the cold brew.
That's my coffee thing.
Yeah, I know. And you're not a coffee drinker, per se.
I used to be, but I had to give it up.
Yeah, they also mix very well with alcohol, as I can see from Kevin's actions from the first break to this one. If you want to check... No, seriously. No, I'm good. If you want to check out some of Kevin's articles on PJ Media, he's now an accomplished journalist.
Thank you.
He's actually a real journalist. He actually writes real stories. And
PJmedia.com.
they're always entertaining. They're always informative. He puts up several a day.
Easily, minimum 2 a day.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
minimum.
So every time I speak to him, he's writing. So check him out on that PJ Media. Also, I'm going to be at Governor's Comedy Shop the 5th and 6th.
Levittown.
Levittown. In Levittown, June 5th and 6th. So come on out and check me out there. Yes, sir. What?
I might be middling with you.
And he's middling. For those of you who never heard of the word middling, it's now actually it's an adverb. It means you open up the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Civilians don't know middler.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Feature act, MC or host.
Can you tell the alcohol has had some effect on Kevin, aside from the way he's wearing his hair at the moment? Like he combed it with firecrackers? Dude, at least that's the way a hair should
put the
look
hat
after
back
the
on?
MAGA hat. There you go. All right. Speaking about making America great again, patriots like Dino Luzzi are doing just that, ladies and gentlemen, helping you find your power with the Dino Luzzi Energy Drink. Dino Luzzi was just telling us a moment ago that it's from Enzio, eh? And Kevin has said, if I had that accent and a couple of roofies, I could get all the women I wanted. I said, well, you take out the roofies because that leads to a felony, and then you would have meeted my chief with all the energy drinks outside. Yeah, I'm a part-time police officer. We'll get to that in just a second. Dino was telling us how he got here. He was born in Italy, came for a short stay, wound up living here, and has now launched this great new energy drink, which is taking Long Island by storm. And if you go out and check it out, you gotta go to your local grocer. If they're not there, demand it. Damn it! Say, I want one of these drinks because I heard they're great. He was just explaining to us how he got here and how he came up with how did you come up with the formula for this thing?
Well, that took a good 8 months because basically we just kept eliminating what we did not like.
What tasted like crap?
Right.
Okay.
And that took a long time.
And for the
And
Italians,
then,
that's
and
not
then
easy.
what we did, I went on Facebook. I have like 5,000 followers on Facebook. And I asked everybody, people that I don't know, if they want to try it. So I started mailing like 2 cans to everybody I asked. It was over 600 people. And this was a huge surprise. All of them said that it had a great taste. They actually said it was crispy, which I said, what's crispy?
That's
It's
crispy.
a liquid.
That's
What's
a
crispy?
stripper.
You know, so, but I basically learned the lingo of the beverage. And what surprised me is that every single one of the people said, no metallic taste.
No metallic.
Yes.
And that was sold me.
Yeah.
I said, now we got it.
You know what's great, and I mentioned this in the last break, that people who actually put their energy in something, you can literally taste the pride in something. But I love the fact that this is a great American story. George Carlin said, the only way to believe in the American dream is to be asleep. So that's why I don't like calling it the American dream, because dreams can become nightmares. This is the American opportunity that is presented to everybody who comes to this country. It's not a dream, because dreams...
It's reality.
It's reality.
Right.
You came here, grabbed an opportunity, saw an opportunity, an opening for something, and this country, up until now, has been providing these opportunities for everybody. And
But
that's what I love
now
about
we
it.
have to fight
Yes.
even more.
I'm with you.
Because the country is still there.
it-
We can't let anybody else down.
Some applause. Little applause. Thank you. Thank you. That's Hunter on the applause. Thank you very much with the applause. Right on cue. What? Yes, Kevin.
Dino, how'd you get rid of that
Kevin,
metallic
microphone.
How'd you get rid of that metallic taste?
I had it
Don't
aluminum.
Don't forget don't forget I have a huge competition. So let them figure it out.
Oh, okay, right.
So far, I already had 3 companies trying to
I added aluminum.
Hey, that's a sneaky, huh, boss?
Okay.
Hey.
But going back to the American dream, I want to make a statement.
Okay.
When I launched this energy drink, was the same day that Italy announced 80,000 COVID cases. because the energy drink is actually FDA approved, I sat back for a couple of weeks, and then I decided to supply the hospital, the nurses, the doctors, and I went crazy by myself, and it was driving me, the bureaucracy was driving me crazy, because it's a public company, I needed a receipt. And all I said, I'm donating it, but give me a freaking receipt. You know, it's yours, it's got vitamin B, it's gonna help you guys out. And still today, I got nurses and doctors calling me up and thanking me.
Wow.
Now, besides that, here's been, to me, what's the real American dream? This is a public company. I was the one that took the company public through a 15C to 11. I actually did not use a lawyer. I fired 3 lawyers, it's on my records. I fought, and I was able to make the company tradable on the OTC market. For people that know that, the company is DWAC and DTC eligible, which is unheard of today. And you're going to hear from me tonight. The stock is below a penny. I'm going to take it to $100 with hard work.
Hold
and
on,
it's not
Abe,
going to be a
hold on.
dream.
Can we have a cash register ring?
I'm going
Thank
to
you.
do it. I'm going to do it. Monster was a penny stock. It's trading $90. If they did it, anybody else can do it. So that's really the American dream. The opportunity is still here.
You know, I forget who it was. I think it was Ben Shapiro said, if you want a shot at what America has available, all you have to do is 4 things. Have a high school diploma, which obviously
Yes.
you have. Don't have kids out of wedlock. Get a job, any kind of job, just
Yep.
get at it. And don't commit crimes.
Yes.
And that flattens the thing. But then you add to it motivation and a vision.
Yes.
And you have more than an opportunity. You have a golden ticket. It's like the Willy Wonka factory.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, that what you did with your energy drink, and how you jumped on all these opportunities
In
that people
times of need,
would have
you-
crushed most people.
Is in times of needs
Yes.
that you have the opportunity.
Agreed.
And this country gives you the opportunity. So I don't see why people cannot grab it.
John F. Kennedy, you may remember this speech. He said the 2 Chinese characters that spelled the English word for crisis are danger and opportunity, and that's what a crisis presents. It's dangerous, but there's also an opportunity. So when
Absolutely.
everybody else was running and hiding and masking up and taking 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 shots and doing all this other stupid COVID nonsense, you saw an opportunity, you jumped on it, and now you have a company that's going public.
Yes.
That's the American opportunity right here.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody who says, "Oh, I can't do it here," I'm sorry. Do you have Italian privilege that we're unaware of that I didn't know? Did you have some kind of Enzio privilege that I should be aware of? No. He came in with an idea. He worked his ass off. He saw an opportunity where most people went, "Ooh," and he said, "No, not to me." Off we go. A charge, that the way.
John, how prevalent is fear when it comes to people making or taking a risk, would you say?
I wouldn't say that's the real pandemic, is fear.
Yes.
It's causing 3 things. Freeze, fight, or flight. One of those 3 things. Freeze, fight, or flight. Unless you view it from a higher perspective, which is the only thing vision will give you. You see an opportunity like you did. You created a better mousetrap.
Yeah.
You know, people think Edison invented the light bulb. He did not.
Nope.
He was just a guy who knew how to make things better. So, all right, so energy drinks aren't new, but you figured out how to take the nails out of them. How to take
Wasn't
the
that
scrap
Thomas
iron out.
Jefferson?
Yeah.
He took away the scrap of metal.
It don't taste like blood.
Well, unless you get in the head while you're drinking it. What is the what's the golden ingredient then, without giving away too much, that makes it all come together?
The golden ingredient is that everybody that tries this energy drink believes that it tastes the way that they like it.
The way they like
Yeah.
it. Okay. But do you
Which
think
you'll ask 50 people, you're going to get 50 different opinions.
Right.
They're all 50, and I guarantee that they're going to say they like it.
Are you gonna mess with the flavor, like come up with a black cherry or a lemon, lime and lime or something?
No, I'm going to stay with the same flavor,
Okay.
but in the near future, we're going to have the sugar-free.
Sugar free. Like
Then
it.
we're going to have the amino acid for the gyms, and we're going to have calcium and potassium for the actual colleges, because I think kids these days, for some reason, they're all stressed out.
I wonder why.
They can't handle anything.
They're not, you are correct in that regard. Here's the one thing they're not teaching kids, in my opinion, and I don't have kids, because I always use protection and never give my real name. But they're not teaching kids how to manage their own thoughts and emotions. They're not teaching them what to think. They're not teaching them how to think. They're teaching them what to think.
Yes.
Which is a huge difference. Instead of being critical thinkers, they're being given what it is they should think and going, this is reality, take it out there. And anyone who doesn't
react.
believe in it, right.
React and act.
You know, the word reaction and the word creation are actually an anagram for itself. You can take the letters from creation, rearrange them, and spell reaction. So you're doing one or the other in every moment of your life. You're either reacting or creating. And to your point about, you know, seeing the opportunity, you saw while everyone else was reacting, you created. And that's what this country, that's why as tough as things are in this country, I truly believe it's not going down. It's going to make us better. It's like coal under pressure. We're going to come out as a diamond, a little bit dusty maybe, but they're not going to take this away from us. When I started getting back on stage, you probably saw this too, and people saw how great it was to be in a room,
Yep.
enjoying entertainment again, looking at each other and having fun. The only thing was
People
missing
needs to have
was a
fun.
Dino Luzzi Energy Drink, ladies and gentlemen.
Available
Find
on Amazon.
your power. Dino, a true American all the way from Anzio.
Amazon.
Oh, it's on Amazon. I'm sorry. Go ahead. One last quote.
Available on Amazon.
Also available on Amazon. If it's not in your local store, get out there and give them a kick in the ass and go make yourself an arse. Kick in the arse, and then make yourself a nice cocktail with it. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. This is East of Normal. My name is John Mulrooney, sitting in with legendary comedian and now journalist Kevin Downey Jr. If you're around, June 5th and 6th, I'll be out at Governor's Comedy Club in the lovely, we can call it the Hamlet of Hempstead?
Levittown.
Levittown. So we can't call it the Hamlet of Hempstead. Hamlet of Hempstead Turnpike. June 5th and 6th. And if you'd like to check out some of Kevin's work, and I'm really not just saying this because he's sitting here. I really do admire his work. He's a journalist, great stand-up comic. You may have seen him on America's Got Talent, but picked up a gig recently and is one of the main writers now, one of the most popular on PJ Media. It's an online media source, and what a surprise, what a novelty. This happens to be an outlet that actually tells the truth. You may get into it occasionally with an editor, right? But for the most part, you bounce your articles off me quite a bit. And I know everything that you do, and I will say this about Kevin, because I've worked with him on the road. When I see him researching a piece, and that's why I love listening to your stuff, and why it's no surprise that people are starting to take notice. Kevin does his homework. Hello? I know some of the the legacy corporate media outlets are now trying to demonize that term, do your own research, that's part of the conspiracy theory group. Do your own research. No, do your own research. Start to look, because the minute you dig a little bit deeper, is it very hard to find out the things that you found out and written about? No.
Nope.
And you know what's interesting, and there's rarely a place for this in stand-up, but I did this the other night when I was working. I was on stage, and the people now who are coming out now that they've dropped the mask mandates, and people are enjoying being in a group together with each other. Every show is like New Year's Eve. Have you found that?
Yes.
The energy is just amazing. That's because they found their power and they got a Dino Luzzi Energy Drink. Like and subscribe, by the way, if you've been enjoying the show so far. This way we'll be able to and hit that notification bell. This way we'll be able to let you know next time we're back on the air. But I was doing a show, place is packed, and in the middle of it, I said, are you enjoying the night out? Yeah! I said, are you liking your freedom? Yeah! I said, well, there's a handful of really dedicated, in my opinion, evil people that are trying to take our freedoms away from us. And we need to do our research, stand up, and stop this insanity that is coming at us. And they were like, yeah!
Yep.
I said, for instance, what number shot are you up to? I'm 17, 18.
Yeah.
Which number are you at this point? And then I threw this out at them. I said, for instance, did you guys know, little truth bomb, the company Moderna used to be a company called Mode RNA. And all they did was put the two names together, and they came up Moderna. And they went, what?
Uh-huh.
And I said, yeah.
You said that in Vegas.
I said
we were
in
together
Vegas.
in Vegas.
Correct. And then I added, and guess who the founder, or one of the founders of Moderna is? Anthony Fauci. And it went from a roller coaster to an oil painting. Everybody went,
Oh.
I said, yeah. I said, and I looked at the audience and I said, and that's the reaction you should have. Now go do your homework. And I went right back into the show. Just enough.
Yep.
Got them going, got their attention, rattled their cage a little bit, and then say, you got it? You enjoying this? Don't let anybody take this away from you.
They're going to try.
They are trying. I'll give them this. They're dedicated.
Yep.
And they're clever, but they're not particularly smart, in my opinion.
Right.
Right. Because number one, they've underestimated us. And when I say us, I'm talking about common people, everyday folks. They've underestimated us. And you know what? Maybe with good reason initially. Because it was pretty good for a while here in the States. Well, not just for a while, you know. You get used to being free, and they exchange, or a little bit of your freedom is exchanged for some safety in the perception. A little bit of freedom, little bit of freedom. They take little steps in at you. And before you know it, you're 10 feet away from where you started. But their plans got interrupted, and they are plans. If you don't think they're plans, you are not looking. There is a plan, and they are trying to take your freedoms away from you. They're trying to shut this country down.
And you know what, John? I want to throw in a little historical aspect. Humans will typically accept tyranny to the point where they're walking into a gas chamber. Not anymore.
Not anymore. They've had enough. And if you look at this closely, this whatever construct this is, socialism, communism, whatever you want to call it, a human being, a normal human being, did not come up with this idea, because this is very unnatural for humans to work under this condition. It's being forced upon us. There's like a small, very tiny king bee at the top, a bunch of soldier ants, and then in a larger plane of worker ants. And that's where we are being seen as the worker ants. We're the ones that are supposed to make all of this happen for a very select and elite few. But it's not going to happen. We're on to them. Shows like this, don't forget to subscribe, like and subscribe. Shows like this, and there are other shows are out there, right? Rogan is on track now. Russell Brand. It's amazing how awake Russell Brand is.
He was a commie.
He was people were labeling him a commie, a leftist, but he's not. He's just awakening.
Yep.
We can't even call them leftists, rightists anymore. It's those still asleep in the dream.
Yep.
And those waking up. And
I like that.
Right? And when you awaken from a dream, you don't try to go back to sleep to fix something that went bad in the dream. You simply wake up and you go, oh, that was a bad dream. But like George Carlin said, they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe in it. Time for the American dream to be over. It's the American reality now.
Yes.
And it's time to wake up to that. And you can applause, please, Abe. Put in a little applause, Abe. Thank you. I will take it with. Thank you. Thank you.
They're awesome.
Thank you. Let me handle this, Alan. Let me handle this.
We got a guest, John.
I know. PJ Media, don't forget to check out Kevin Downey Jr. And, of course, I'm going to be at Governor's first weekend of June. And this is what I'm talking about when we're talking about the American opportunity. Because I might think maybe even 20 years ago it would have been unusual to see female, like, race car drivers. Females typically don't accelerate, pardon that pun, or excel in fields like you don't see, even though it's open to them, you don't see a lot of female pilots, right?
Nope.
You don't see a lot of female ship captains. You don't see a lot of female race car drivers. But we have one here tonight. It costs $80, but she's here. And Jen Krapata, Jen, did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Her last name is Polish and Argent, so it has 18 consonants in it. And I lost a tooth trying to pronounce it. Krpata, right?
You got it.
Krapata.
Yep.
Now, during the break, we were just joking around, and Kevin said something about your youth, and you said, "Why does everybody think I'm so young?"
Yeah.
Well, maybe because you look like you're 9.
I hear that all the time. I heard that at the racetrack, and I came over to Alan and my dad, and I was like, why does everybody always think I'm so young all the time?
Well, just to give it context, Alan is also a race car driver who helped put the show together. Thank you, Alan, by the way. Alan Cohen, CTSV Racing. So that this was at which race? Because Alan calls me from the track all the time.
Yeah, we had just come back from VIR for the Hoosier Super Tour.
VIR.
Virginia International Raceway.
She's using them short-term racing things and that.
I
know VIR. I've been out there.
ain't gay.
Been out there
Pretty much.
Okay, so you're Long Island native?
Yes.
Okay, from?
I grew up in Farmingdale.
Mm-hmm.
I live in St. James.
How then can I ask how, you're not supposed, you know that old joke. You're not supposed
How
to
I
ask
got
it.
into racing?
No. How old you actually are?
I'm
Forget the racing for a
27.
second. How what?
27.
You do look like a kid. Not for nothing. You look like you're 18 years old.
Thanks.
All right, so whose car are you racing right now? I hope they know about it.
I'd like to think so.
The car just left.
It is a car that my dad and I have. My dad actually had raced that car. Believe it or not, before I was born, he built it from the chassis up. What that means is pretty much most people would go out and you'd buy a frame and you'd buy a chassis. Actually, take it back. Most people would just buy the car whole. My dad built the car from scratch, all the geometry, everything. He did that himself with his guys at his shop when he was, before I was born.
So you were a kid. You grew up into it.
I did.
Basically.
I didn't really get super involved in it for a long time. I always had a passion for it, but I always sided for playing soccer all the time. I wasn't allowed per se because I spent a lot of time at this, on the soccer field, and I didn't need another thing to get into.
So let me ask you this, because this is obviously a huge controversy in other women's sports, but the whole issue of transgenderism in female, they don't have a separate category for female drivers, correct? So that's not something that would affect you per se.
Correct. No, I race with men. I work with men. I'm predominantly do everything around.
He's afraid to ask you a question now.
What's the question?
In a race, how many times do you stop to ask for directions? I'm kidding.
Well, most people would tell me that I just have to turn left anyway.
Okay.
Hey, hi-oh.
So,
And how come there are no Asian race car drivers?
Aw.
I mean, the perfect name, too. Yeehaw.
So there's no actual, there's no way a man has anything over a woman driving.
No,
edge.
not. Age doesn't matter. Race doesn't matter. Sex doesn't matter. Orientation
While you're
of any
driving?
sort. Yeah.
Let me ask you this then. In your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
is there an advantage to being a woman driver in a predominantly male, pardon the pun, driven activity or sport?
Honestly, I don't feel any different than anybody else.
Okay.
I
Well, how do you know what we feel?
Well, that's true, but I go there and I want to do the best every time that I can for myself, whether my competitor was female, male, whatever. I really just go for my own goals rather than competing against anybody else.
I have to say something. You're the most polite I've seen you in the entire time. I've known you 30 years. I've never seen you being more polite than you are right
It's
now.
a new me,
Okay,
John.
all right. Have another cocktail.
Is this a drag race or?
No.
Is,
Oh, you said a drag race. I get it. That's how you worked in the whole trans shit, like one of them trans testicles. I get it, like a drag race. I saw what you were doing.
No, it's not drag racing. It's road racing.
how many people compete?
Alan and I had about 400 cars at the last race that we attended.
400, what, at the same time?
No.
Oh.
So what I mean by 400 cars, I mean there's groups, maybe 1 through 8, and then within those groups there's different categories. So my teammate Alan, he runs a GT1 car. I run a GT2 car. Alan and I, because we're in the same group, the same basis of, level of car, we had roughly 40, 50 in our group this last
So
weekend.
you're racing against the clock, essentially. You're racing for your time?
No, we go through different sessions. You have anywhere between practice and qualifying, and then multiple races in order to, make your way through to the next race. But no, not really. I mean, our races are timed, but they're timed so that we don't go an extended period of time on track. So they have enough time for the groups.
I'm sorry, Kevin has another question. Go ahead.
Sorry, so I'm from Detroit, so anything you're driving, someone I know probably touched it at some point. You said your dad built the car up, so it's not even like a Ford Futura from '64. It's his own thing?
Yeah, it's a complete tube chassis car.
Oh, okay, so there's no reference. You can say, oh, it kind of looks like...
No, the style body car that I have is a Chevy Impala. The only thing that really references that is the nose of the car. Nothing else. Even that's a little bit far-fetched to say because I really don't think it looks like a car at all. What it looks like a race car of what I grew up with going to watch my dad do and NASCAR and stuff like that.
Hey, do you have brothers and or sisters that compete or share the same passion that you have to like beat them back to get to the car?
No, I do have a brother and a sister. My brother would probably do a foot race with me to get in the car. I would bet he would absolutely love to, but it's just maybe a little bit over.
How's your driving record?
It's pretty good.
No, let me see your license.
Oh, my license?
Let me see your CID.
I only have one speeding ticket.
Oh, did you really?
I did.
Okay,
I
where
got
was
one.
that? Had to be Jersey.
No, I got one out here.
Oh, where?
I was going out to Riverhead.
Oh, so
I guess-
trooper?
Yeah.
A trooper. They never. We're state troopers. We don't have balls. Remember that joke?
He didn't like me too much.
Did you give him? Here's the deal: if you ever get stopped by a cop for a speeding ticket, always and you have to catch them before they go back to the car. Say, officer, if I can make you laugh, would you consider giving me a break before writing me a ticket? Every cop will stop and at least hear the joke, but you better have a good joke.
Yeah, right.
You better have a joke in reserve. So make sure that you have something ready. But everyone will at least listen, and I would guarantee you, unless it's a state trooper, 90% of the time they're gonna let you walk.
I got one.
Okay, here we go. All right. So I'm saying, all right, Mr. Downey, do you
He
have
gave me
one?
this advice like 100 years ago.
Okay.
So I get pulled over, and the cop goes, you know what pulled you over? Nah, nah, nah. And he goes, all right, hold on. Here's your license. I said, wait. Officer, if I can make you laugh, I told you I'm a comedian. Will you let me go? He goes, yeah, I probably will. I go, why didn't Hitler drink tequila? He goes, I don't know. I go, because it made him mean. I got the ticket.
Did he get it? Oh, because she fucked up the joke.
How did I fuck it
The
up?
joke is, how come Hitler didn't drink? He was a mean drunk.
Oh,
Oh, you screwed up the joke.
Damn it.
You should have just said, how do Germans tie their shoes?
in little.
In little Nazis.
right, I'll do that next time.
That's the one next time.
Damn it.
If you're gonna do a German Hitler joke, do the right one.
I'm being schooled on which Nazi joke to do.
Just keep drinking, we get funnier. So, in regard to the other sports that actually do have this new controversy going on now, where men who are obviously men decide that they're women, compete against women who have trained at a supreme athlete level in a female category, and now some dude walks in and says, I want to try, and they let him. It infuriates me. How do you feel about it? Why are you looking around? Don't look at the men.
Don't
first.
look at Alan.
Yeah, don't look
Look
at
at
Alan.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
You're still ambivalent about it? You're on the fence?
I could probably take half the men I know in a fight. So
I like it.
Agree with that.
I don't,
Look at Johnny. All right, man.
so, you
Is
know,
this
I don't,
free?
I just don't, I couldn't care if you were man or woman if I,
It doesn't matter in her.
no.
It doesn't matter in your world, but do you think it's
I do see some people's issues with it. Do I personally have an issue with it? No, I don't.
okay?
But
all right.
that's just me personally.
All right. If they do they have categories of women driving cars, just women like races?
No,
No.
not that I've ever been
It's
involved
anybody
in.
who shows up with a car and the ability.
Correct.
And that, pardon the pun, that pretty much levels the playing field.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's the best way to put it. There's definitely some classes, like Alan's. He's almost at the top level of speed and things along that nature, brake packages.
Yeah, he does it on the Meadowbrook Parkway, so I
Right.
don't even want to get into that. I still have a streak in his car from 4 years ago. Want to see how fast I can go?
Go, Ellen, go, Ellen, go, Ellen, go.
The playing field's pretty much level. The components with inside the car is what really changes the classes to their.
It's nice to
Levels, I
see
guess.
a young lady working on something she can with her dad. There's not many father-daughter dances available anymore, but it's nice to see that you found something that you can do with your family.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm a
it's always a
fan.
good time. Thanks.
Danica Patrick, yes or no?
What about her?
Anything. She's good, she's bad.
I think maybe if she was given better opportunities, she might have had a better.
Where was she robbed?
You mean of a track?
No, opportunities.
No, okay. So there's always different levels of opportunities. Some teams are better than others, and some teams are not. They might not have the funding that others have. Maybe if somebody saw a light in something and was able to get more funding.
Okay, yeah.
There's always more. There's always more you can have. It's racing.
What's the name of the car?
There's never
what's
a cap.
Is there so when you got them? It's the same car every time, unless your dad and you were tweaking it to some level, right? It's just the same. It's basically the same vehicle you take out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you gotta put on different tires. You gotta do different things for the track that you're on. You gotta,
Octane.
No. Well, we run 112 fuel, Sunoco 112, most of the time. I also run Hoosier. It's more about compounds. I've started to go from a smaller compound, which is mainly for oval racing, which is what the car was actually made for. It was, if anybody knows, which is the standing joke, only ovals, you don't know how to race, all you got to do is make a left. They run a certain kind of tire. It's a 30, 35
Right.
compound, whatever. Now I run radials just to try and be a little bit more competitive.
Right.
So
Where do
we
you
made
s-
some changes to take care of that.
Where do you? You're 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You're a young woman. Where do you see this all going for you?
Everybody has those dreams and aspirations of what they would like to do. Of course, being a professional driver is always something that's in the back of my head of, I would love to do this every day. Racing is my passion. It's what I love to do. That's what I would love to do. I would love to be a weekend driver for any team that's looking for a road racer, or even willing to give me a shot on a, short track. I have minimal experience on short track racing, but again, something that if I had more seat time, I'd be able to excel in.
I like that seat time. Gonna
Yeah.
use that. Yeah,
I got
do
two
that.
questions. Pick
Two.
one. I don't want to.
Two.
All right.
All right, wow, very good. I like it.
Do your parents fear the danger of the race? And what's your favorite track? If you could race any track.
Okay. My mom, I think my dad's able to hide it better than my mom is able to.
Okay.
My mom has gone to, so I used to go-kart. Before I got
that's
into, full-size cars, I go-karted from right about 16, and then I excelled in that. So it was either we get a different motor and we get another cart, or we move up into the car. My mom came to probably about 3 of my karting races, and I think I got into an accident 2 of the 3 times. So just from karting alone, my mom is not the biggest fan. I don't. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna roll with it. So
Good luck. That's exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? We Kevin and I both jumped into comedy the same way.
Yep.
And I kept getting encouragement from my parents. You know, I was in it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and my father kept leaving me applications for the post office, for the police department, for all the civil service exams. And then right around year 10 or 11, I hit it huge for me. And I remember that year as a comic, I paid more in taxes than he earned in salary. And he was peeking over my shoulder. I was looking at my tax return, and he was peeking over my shoulder, and I saw him do one of these, and I looked back because I caught him, and I said, "So you still think I should be a cop?" He said, "Okay, wise guy. All right, all right." Jen Caprata, good luck. Best of luck to you. More applause, please, Abe. Thank you very much. Really, hit that like and subscribe button, and run out and grab yourself a Dino Luzzi. Find your power in a Dino Luzzi, ladies and gentlemen, and find your entertainment right here. Every time you come back, hit that subscribe and notification button down below. Hit the like button. Give us a little extra boost, and we'll give you a little extra boost. And we will see you next time on East of Normal.